In 2021, the Celbridge and River Catchment Association embarked on the daunting task of saving a local hedge bordering their community farm that had looked like it might be destroyed by building or die away with neglect. The association brought in the hedge experts to advise on how to proceed.
We're here at Derrybeg CSA farm to look at a hedgerow or remnants of a hedgerow. So we have this hedgerow. We're not sure of the age of it, but it's got some age because there's still a few mature white thorns in the hedge that denote that it's been here for some time.
It has a bank that it's on and would have had the hawthorns planted along the top of it. Other trees as well would have been in it. But when the elder gets in, and while it's just one stump, it is spread out. That must be close to 15 or 20 metres, and then it joins up with more elder.
Unfortunately, it turned out we had to take the whole lot out because the elder trees would have killed anything that was in there anyway through their overshadowing plants and the enzymes in the roots that seemingly are detrimental to other plants or many other plants.
With the advice of the Hedge Laying Association, it was decided that the hedge, in order to survive as a diverse habitat, it would need to be taken away completely. So with the help of lots of volunteers, the long road to the restoration of the Celbridge hedge began at the end of 2021. The first phase involved the removal of all the ground brambles and the cutting away of unwanted trees and the coppicing of the remaining hawthorns. It was a lot of hard work, but there was also an unexpected benefit from it.
One of the interesting things was that people got to know each other. You know, that was really cool. They enjoyed coming out here, you know, even if it was just for an hour. Like some people only came up for an hour or two. Some of them were horrified at the beginning until they understood what it was about.
And I did question at the time, what's the difference between a huge big ditch and putting in a new hedgerow? That's how little I knew about ecology and hedgerows in Ireland.
But all I can say is by them coming back, I presume they like the idea of being involved, like the idea of doing something positive and proactive.
The next phase was really a clean-up, watched curiously by some of the locals.
Then that was at least a month running around looking for the rubbish that was dug in, still pulling out rubbish. After that, the next big thing was to put the rabbit-proof fencing in. So the rabbit-proof fencing took a long time because we had to dig a trench all around because the fencing underneath the soil has to come at an angle, but all we had was rocks. Wow. Okay, that's a lot of work. Now the rabbit-proof fencing was a little bit awkward because we didn't know where the boundary was. So we had lots of wonderful positive engagements with the industrial site next door. And they were actually very, very sweet about it. And seemingly, from what the junior manager told me, they actually redesigned their landscaping alongside the hedge to fit in with it. And they also put up 6 swift boxes. So that was really cool. That's a hazel.
Okay, I think Owen would mention leave a metre either side of the tree. Either side of a tree.
Yeah. So I'll do it right here.
Once the fence was in place, the planting could begin. Over the past year, the association had been given a number of small trees, or whips, and they had been planted in a small patch, ready to be dug up when needed.
So there's about not quite 400 of them in there. So we've got hawthorn, we have hazel, there's also birch, there's a few oaks, there's an alder. What did we say? What did you say? Four whips per metre, is it?
5 to 6 per
Five
metre.
to six.
So plant a double row, so 20 centimetres.
So we had 2 days for planting. So you had 1 day for the volunteers and 1 day for the public, and the third day was for the school. So we had it in 3 sections.
This is 400, so the difference between here and here is only 200.
It's great to get the opportunity to work on a project like this, where we are dealing with a hedge that has been neglected, really, is what has happened to it over the years, and the opportunity to restore it is very welcome.
That's a birch.
It was the physical work that really helped with the health and the mental health aspect as well. Just making things out of the land. That's yeah. I came as a visual artist and knew nothing about hedgerows, absolutely nothing. I had a hedgerow at a family home growing up, and I never knew anything about it. So the fact that they brought a school in to show the children, and you may be sure the children will go home and kind of competitively go, is my hedgerow better than yours next door? And it's about, I suppose, teaching the benefits of that.
There was a great variety of trees to be planted, and that reflected the want of a diverse and useful hedge.
I often thought in terms of trees that we would need fields, replanting fields, but to see such a simple solution emerge as the hedgerow, I mean, how simple can that be?
It's not for everybody. It's a lot of physical work, it's outdoors. If you're not into plants, biodiversity, it probably won't suit you. But I guess any volunteer who volunteers, is like-minded.
I think you can already see progress. Like when we originally put these saplings in, they were tiny. They were like little twiglets. And already within, I think, is it a month, they're actually, after growing, like there's leaves, and they're actually quite substantial now. Whereas as before, you'd think they were little twigs. So I think even in the space of a month, so I'd say even give this a year, and it will look so beautiful. And it'll look very significant in a year.